Oh man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is? Tuesday. Brewsday, Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah. Grab a cold one. It's Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
Once again, we welcome you into another Brewsday Tuesday. Indeed, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store right there in downtown Blacksburg. That's where I went into and bought me some beer. And I happened to find, I know we just drank another half last week, but one good turn deserves another. I opened up their Spinach, which is a double dry hopped India Pale Ale. 7%. And it says right here on the side, we got Citra, we got Mosaic, we got El Dorado, and Nelson Sauvin hops. It's a hazy IPA brewed with a hand-selected blend of hops, giving notes of tangerine, mango, bright stone fruits, and of course, the delicious gooseberry.
I love gooseberries.
I'm not familiar with gooseberries. I was kind of joking. That's a real thing, huh? A gooseberry?
I've never. It was kind of like schnozberry and
That's what I was thinking. Is a schnozberry.
chocolate factory. I've got the Java Power from Ithaca. It makes pretty solid beer. India Pale Ale with coffee, and this label might be the tackiest label I've ever seen. It's all over the place.
Well, that means you love it. That
I-
means you
I
love it.
do like the loud, obnoxious, unattractive things.
Trying to think if have we had a label on the show that you didn't like?
Oh, yeah.
Let's start pointing those ones out.
All right, we can do that. This is a 7.5% ABV.
It's definitely not starting today though, because not only because I mean the other half spinach label is pretty great too.
This has like coffee beans and hops all over it, and you got this cool like groovy 70s font. It looks like one of those interludes from that 70s show.
So I've been sitting on that one for a while because I was waiting for something that would kind of make sense to pair with it. I figured I wouldn't be able to find another like coffee IPA. That seems pretty rare.
There's
But you
not a
said
lot.
that you said that there was one, and I couldn't remember which one
I've
you
had
said.
one. I think it was Star Hill, and I think they had done it with Red Rooster Coffee Roasters. It was like a limited release. I had it.
So we're gonna find that one.
I had it. It was like at Floyd Fest one year, random like drop, and they had like one keg of it. I mean, not one keg. That's probably an exaggeration. But it was very limited. Like it was kicked and gone so quickly.
Well, either way, so I kind of gave up on that and just decided to throw it into this show that's a bit of a hodgepodge. Initially, I was going to have it be totally different styles of beers and whatnot. And then I was looking at my fridge and I was like, well, I guess this kind of works. A couple IPAs in the next round. They're somewhat similar. I mean, just in the fact that they're both stouts. But either way, I did want to talk about the other half's spinach, which I think this is a nod to. Mikey was telling me, because I don't know if you knew this or remembered. I'm sure we've done it on the show. They had broccoli, broccoli IPA, and you may have heard the story. Apparently, the whatever broccoli initiative of America or whatever got mad at other half for making a broccoli beer. You think it'd be the other way. You think they'd be all about it.
Those broccoli teamsters are tough.
So I think they sort of it's almost like they sent out a cease and desist. I'm sure it was. I mean, I think obviously there's not legal reprimand for calling your beer broccoli. I don't think.
Can't. That's definitely something you can't like copyright and trademark it. I'm pretty sure Gene Simmons already tried.
Yeah. So I think that what they did was they sort of poked fun at it, and they did end up, pulling the plug. I think they did a run of like last broccoli, or they did something funny with it, and now I think the broccoli beer has essentially turned to spinach. And so now they're non to spinach, which I'm not going to lie. Growing up, when you think of spinach, you think of Popeye. That's the main thing, the canned spinach. But I eat spinach damn near every day. The spinach leaves, I love that stuff. And when I make like omelets, or if you're doing, frittatas or salads, I put it in my smoothies. Like, spinach,
I think it's a superfood.
It might be. It might be.
If it's not, it's damn delicious. And
it's one of those things where growing up, you were almost sort of taught and trained to think that, oh, you're not meant to like this. But then when you get older and you just try, like Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts now. But I remember that Nickelodeon commercial back in the day that was like, oh, he's making me eat Brussels sprouts. And it made you think you hated Brussels sprouts. And maybe I bet I did as a kid. I was a pretty picky eater, but
mercifully, I was never a victim of that. My family were picky eaters, so we didn't have like asparagus is one of my favorites. You do some roasted asparagus, throw a little balsamic glaze on there, salt, pepper. Oh, absolutely delicious. That was something I never had as a kid. That was something I discovered, kind of as an adult, just exploring cooking. And same with Brussels sprouts. Spinach, however, was always a staple for me. Spinach, collard greens, and kale.
okay.
Just absolute staples in my life.
So you were pre the kale fad.
Yeah.
And the price of kale go up and you got pissed because you're like, damn it, now everybody's buying this crap.
We do have kale less.
Mm.
Mustard greens, also delicious. Yeah.
So you said collard greens. I've still never really got into collard greens, but asparagus is probably our go-to green side dish. Like, oh man, I love me some asparagus. And then of course you get the fun. Yeah. You go to the bathroom. Somebody had asparagus.
That's apparently a genetic thing. Like the cilantro tastes like soap. Only certain people get it.
Is it only certain people's pee smells or only certain people smell that they're
only certain people's pee smells?
Interesting. Yeah, I think I've heard that. But
I could do greens all day. And that would be my staple if I were to ever to become a vegetarian, because I do love meat. Pretty much any meat out there. I have learned how to prepare it. I'll eat it. I mean, I'm not getting into the weird stuff like cow tongue, because frankly, you shouldn't be eating that. It's all muscle. But that's not really the point of what I'm saying. The point is, if I were going to be a vegetarian, it would be a very like greens based diet. It would be spinach and all that jazz to get all my protein, because I can't do mushrooms unless they're like very well cooked.
Really? I do like some mushrooms too. I don't know. These day and age, man, I feel like I can eat just about anything. I'm trying to think of stuff that I really just don't like, and I'm drawing a blank. I'll try anything, and if it's prepared well, it's good.
That's also a fact. I mean, pineapple is one of those that I don't eat. We're going to a Friendsgiving, and there was like a sign up list of people like we're doing
What
like
to bring.
potluck style,
Yeah,
what to
yeah.
bring, and someone put like some sort of pineapple dessert, and I was like, first of all, that's a bold move for a Friendsgiving dessert. Secondly, I don't even know how to prepare a pineapple. Like, absolutely not, because I don't
trying to
eat
think.
it.
I feel
Like
a pineapple just broad just says a pineapple dessert. So like a pineapple upside down.
No,
cake
it was
dessert.
something that like required specifically like a pineapple, and I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like I mean, I guess I could have used canned pineapple and just.
You guys get that
like,
specific
look,
with your sign up list? Like, we need these things. Who's bringing what?
the people who are hosting it are very organized, and
Sounds like it.
I mean, I'm fine with it until I realize someone else took the green bean casserole, which kind of pissed me off,
man.
because that's my favorite, and it's so easy to screw it up.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of. You can definitely come across some bad green bean casseroles.
Mercifully,
Over
it's
the
not the
years.
big shebang, and my wife will still be making.
The proper one,
The proper green
that
bean
you know
casserole,
that'll be
but-
a sure thing. So the Friendsgiving, you do that not actually on Thanksgiving,
Correct.
so like a early
Usually
or a
from
later
before.
or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm excited to get out and go and enjoy it. And they have toddlers, we have toddlers, so it's kind of
Works well.
it's less of a man on man and more of like a zone defense. So it's a lot easier to enjoy yourself.
Nice. So I would say it's not a coincidence, but or no, I guess maybe it wasn't coincidence. So I'm wearing my Motörhead shirt. And I think that you saw that I was wearing my Motörhead shirt, and you made a conscious decision because you went back, you ran home, and I guess, did something with the kids, whatever you do, however your schedule
I was
works
doing
on
some light
Tuesdays.
plumbing,
Yeah. Okay.
toilet repair.
And then you came back. So I'm not gonna lie. I mean, my shirt's pretty sweet. This is the one from the Lemmy's Lounge at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. But you got the sweet jersey, the Motörhead
So
hockey jersey.
I've had this. I got this the Christmas after we had our son. So I've had this for 4 years now, and I've worn it maybe 3 times. But yeah, I saw your Motörhead shirt, and I was like, well, I've got to
Busted
go
out.
home and go big.
Yeah, I was like, does he know? He doesn't think that we're drinking like Motörhead beers, which I bet there are
No.
something out there. We could have had a Motörhead themed show, I'm sure, but this is not the
No,
one.
No, I
Just slightly.
it reminded me, and I was like, you know what? I could break that out.
I will say this when it comes to, because I pretty much all I wear just about is band or beer t-shirts. And now that I think about it, because it happened to me earlier today, and the fact that you wore that Motorhead, this is one that I think you get the most. Because if other people like Motorhead, they'll say something. Because it's not as common, I guess. So I was, case in point, earlier today, I was going into O'Reilly's to look for something to get for the RV, and the dude held the door open for me. He's like, "Come on in, Lemmy." And I was just like, I didn't, and I thought he was talking about the guy behind me at first. He's just like, then he mentioned, and he's like, "Yeah, the shirt." I was like, "Oh yeah, man, Motorhead's awesome."
It's intriguing. I find the same thing. I get the most mileage out of my Motorhead t-shirts, but the other one is Iron Maiden. But it's never like Bruce or Nico. It's Eddie. It's always Eddie that they reference because, I mean, you have a killer logo. Motorhead didn't need that. They had Lemmy, and as we learned from Airheads, Lemmy is God.
Yes.
Easily the loudest concert I've ever been to.
See, and it's sad I never got to. I was going to, and then he passed.
Yeah,
a couple months before or whatever.
I saw them at the Fillmore in Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah. They were
that would
playing.
have been amazing.
It was a random show, and I remember it was a weekday, so it may have just been one of those like on the road already or booking this, but it was. I can't even. I think Anthrax may have been on the bill, but I can't remember who opened. No, it wasn't Anthrax. It was Valiant Thor, and another thrash band. But Motorhead was the headliner.
Okay, that's good. This is why you buy the shirts, so that you can remember the lineup and who all was
I'd have to
there.
dig through all my shirts and find it.
Yeah.
I just remember Motorhead. And oh god,
what year?
Show. I was still at Radford. My dad picked me up. It was for either spring break or no, it would have been spring break because we weren't traveling with all my crap.
So maybe like 2010 or something.
Something like that. And we traveled down straight from Radford to kick off whatever break I was on. Doing the show.
Nice.
I was done with class. So it must have been like a Thursday. And we got down there. We went to the Fillmore, went to the show, and then we went to there's a diner over there that was killer. Of course, everyone leaves the show, goes to the diner, and jukebox gets.
I think we've talked about. I think we talked about this before. Yeah,
we always refer to it as the heavy metal diner. Hopefully, they're still in business. I should probably learn their name and give them some support.
I do love that. I do love that venue. It's a fantastic venue, and we've been doing some awesome giveaways down that way.
That's one of my favorite. And I also like. Have you been to the Fillmore in Silver Spring? Because that's another good one.
I mean,
if it has the Fillmore, it's probably a good venue.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not sure. I feel like I have. I must have back in the day. Because that's been there for a while as well. Back when I lived up more that way. Yeah. And that's where we'd be going for some shows. But we digress. We're drinking beer. We're reminiscing about Motorhead and greens and stuff. Shall we go ahead and
Lemmy ate his greens.
Yeah, of course he did. Of course he did, man. That's how he was able to drink and party for as long as he did, man. Other halves, spinach, the double dry hopped IPA. This might be one of my favorite beers from them. This is absolutely delicious. It's hitting all the great notes. The lacing's there. It's a hazy. It's the aroma. I mean, like I said, like they mentioned on the description, it does have some citrusy notes and some fruity notes, which is kind of nice when it comes to the hazies. And I mean, ABV 7%. That's right about where you'd want it. This is a great beer, man. I might come out swinging. I don't know if it's quite a 5, but I'll give it a 4.75. I mean, this is delicious.
All right. So the Ithaca Beer Company Java Power. You don't get a lot of the like typical like notes you would get from drinking a cup of coffee. You get more of the citrus element to it. There is still a hint of that like roasted flavor. It's pretty damn delicious. I'm not certain you're gonna love it. I think we might have another one of those moments.
That's why I gave that to you, because I had a feeling.
Like, what the hell?
I had a feeling I will not like that beer. I want to try it, obviously, because I haven't had it, but I don't have high hopes for it. So feel free to pour a little heavy, by the way, if you didn't already do that.
From what I remember from the Star Hill one I had, it's probably going to align pretty similarly score-wise. 4.25.
All right.
India Pale Ale with coffee. It's good to have that as like a standout. We're kind of one of the few doing it, but it doesn't need to become the norm.
It definitely.
It's not going to be a craze.
I can't imagine that taking off. That just. I'm interested to try because the Star Hill one you're talking about, I may have had that one, probably not, just because that's not something I would seek out.
Yeah,
that one was put in my hands because somebody gave it to me to try it. So
it's a good enough reason.
yeah, right. So yeah, well, I'll definitely try it, but again, we'll see how it fares. We got to play Motorhead. We'll play some Motorhead. We'll come back. We'll drink some more beers. It is Brewsday Tuesday, and the next round should be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. So stick around. We'll tell you what we're drinking in just a few right here. 105.3 The Bear.